This is it. The end of old 0187. Long time coming. Gonna save a lot of money not paying for this place constantly every month. So I got it done. We'll talk more about it. Let me go into the office and seal the deal. Hey folks, Good Guy Glenn here, and today is Sunday, September 28th, 2025. Well, as you see, I moved out of storage, finally. Took forever, took way too long. I've been meaning to man, it's a long story. I'm sure I've covered it here before. I was trying to get rid of storage years ago. Life happens. I had to move out of where I was living. I packed my storage unit full of stuff, and that's where it sat when I went out OTR, when I was trying to recover from coming back OTR. And over the last year, I've been working toward getting rid of the storage unit. But it's okay because now it's done. Now it's done. The unit is empty. I have everything packed in this garage. I threw away a lot of stuff. There's a lot more that has to go, but I can now take it at my leisure. And for what I'm paying for this garage I'm renting, it's a lot cheaper than what storage was. Still working on getting rid of stuff. That's going to be a never-ending battle. But at the end of the day, saving a lot of money. It's tough, man. It's tough holding on to stuff. And I think we hold on to stuff because you never know. Like, there's multiple reasons. You don't know when you're going to need something. That's how a lot of the tools are that I keep. I've got like welders and tanks of argon and just like all kinds of nonsense that I haul around from place to place that I live. And for what? I don't really weld that much anymore. And when I weld, it's on the job and I'm using the company's stuff. So why am I holding on to it? Because you just never know. And that's what happens. You hold on to a lot of junk because you never know. Then there's sentimental things. Most of the stuff that I don't know what to do with, that me and my daughter have to go through, is stuff that was like my mom's or stuff that came from my house that I used to own, that I grew up in. And you feel bad just throwing this stuff away. And over the years, I've thrown away a lot. And then you work down the pile smaller and smaller and smaller until you're fed up and you just get rid of it. I think ultimately, what I don't want for my kids is what happened with me. When my parents passed and I had to go through all their stuff and get rid of all their stuff that they accumulated over the years that they were alive. And I don't want that for them. I want to basically have one apartment with my clothes, and that's about it. And then they could easily just go through it, donate everything to Goodwill, and get rid of my stuff. That's how you have to start thinking. I want to have as minimal footprint in this world as possible. But it's done. Storage is gone. It is out of my hair. It's not going on my credit card every month anymore. That is spectacular. And I'm super stoked about that. Something else that's going on. You know what we're going to talk about real quick? We're going to talk about a couple of weeks ago. My daughter was hanging out with me. I had to drive her home. So we're driving home and we witness an accident in front of us. A car goes through a red light. There's an accident right in front of us. And I get out and I make sure that the woman was okay who was involved in the accident. I waited with her till her husband showed up because, she was all alone. She was a nurse heading for work. Some guy just went right through the red light at like 50 miles an hour, like it wasn't even red. And we're not talking like it was red for like it just turned red. It had been red. And he blew through the light and they got into an accident. So I gave my witness statement to the police. Fast forward to now, a couple of weeks later, I'm getting all these letters from lawyers about requesting their service to represent me because I was in an accident. So I panic and I flip out. And I look, and the paperwork that they send me has the accident report, and it even says witness, that I was a witness to the accident. Not that I was in the accident at all, that I just witnessed. Gave my witness testimony. I guess these lawyers don't look at that. So I called the police department and they're like, yeah, dude, you were just a witness. Don't worry about that. They just do that to everybody. Just thought that was a little unusual, a little scuzzy. These ambulance chasers get a hold of my name and they just start, sending me stuff. But today is Sunday. I went to church. Today was the last day of Our Lady of Knots. So it's when you go and you tie knots in a rope and you pin it to the Virgin Mary's cloak and you pray for her to untie all the knots in your life. And I think about that. And I think about all the knots that are in our lives right now and all the things we worry about right now. And one of my biggest worries is my kids. I worry for my children. I'm 50 years old. I've crested the hill and now I'm looking at, I don't want to be dark, but it's like now we go towards the downhill slope, right? But my kids, they still have their whole lives ahead of them. And what kind of world are we leaving them? More than ever, this country is so divided. There's so much going on, and it doesn't have to be that way. Whether it's the left or the right painting narratives, and it's all about making us hate each other. And one thing is for sure, it's all about slavery and them enslaving us. Look at the cost of living right now. Look at what it costs you to go grocery shopping, just to buy a few items. Look at what your electric bill is, your heating bill, especially here in New Jersey, since they shut down 5 power plants because they were banking on green energy and they never did anything. The money for the solar and the wind farms just disappeared. So now we're 5 power plants down and they just jack up our rates. Democrats try to say it's Trump. They try to say that the new governor that we're going to elect is going to make it worse, when really it was current governor and the Democrats who ran up our power bills. But listen, it's across the board. It's across the board, right or left. But the difference being, it just seems like Democrats don't ever want to admit that their side is messed up. I'll be the first one to tell you, I'm not too happy with everything Trump is up to. No new wars, right? Drain the swamp, right? Then Charlie Kirk happens. You tell me, what's going on with that? So I guess what I'm trying to say is, ultimately, it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat, if you're a Republican, for whatever reason, you're one of those two things, or if you're just a person who is trying to make it in life and, you don't really fall into either camp. Well, that's it, isn't it? Really? We're all just trying to make it. We're all trying to feed our families. We're all trying to just keep our heads above water. And some of us are probably doing better than others, but it's hard out there right now. I think that's where faith comes in. And I think that you need to have faith. Today's Gospel in Church talked about that, about those who have and those who have not. And Lazarus, how the rich man had banquets every day, every week, whatever. How the rich man had banquets all the time and had plenty to eat and never wanted for nothing. And Lazarus ate the scraps from people's tables, and he lived on the streets and he had nothing. And he had sores all over his body from leprosy. And he laid with the dogs in the street. And then when Lazarus died and the rich man died, the rich man went and burned in hell, and Lazarus was held in the bosom of Abraham. And the rich man cried out, "Why did you do this?" And Abraham basically said, "You had the ability to take care of those who had nothing when you had everything, and you chose not to." I think there's a lot of that goes on now. I don't want to be rich. I don't want to be famous. I don't want anything like that. I just want my kids to be able to be safe, have a good job, and have purpose and meaning in their life, and not have to worry about where their next meal is going to come from. I don't ever want my kids to have to live in their Jeep and DoorDash 12 hours a day to survive. I don't want my kids to know when the bagel shop throws the bagels from the day into the dumpster because that's how you might eat tonight. And there's people who are going through that right now. So yeah, I'm going to save $250 a month on storage. I'm going to continue to hustle up work during this period of time where I need to. And I know some of you have posted in the comments that there's plenty of work out there. There's plenty of work out there. Listen, guys, the country is a big country, okay? And your area might be booming. There might be stuff going on. But in another area, there might not be anything going on. So I understand. And if I didn't have kids, I would go somewhere where there was more work. I would go on another adventure. I got offered a job today in Alaska. A buddy of mine that I went to CDL school with works the mines in Utah, in Nevada, California, and now he's in Alaska. He's in the mining industry, and he's always looking for CDL drivers. I don't know if you know anything about the mining industry. It's a crazy, crazy job. 12-hour days. You live in a mining camp. It's basically the closest thing to the Wild West that we have today. But I've got kids, so I can't go to Alaska for 6 months and stack cash. It would be great. And if I was a younger man, I would be all about it. And you all would be coming with me, and I'd be filming adventures, and my videos would probably be doing a lot better, because since I left OTR, y'all don't seem to be interested in what old Good Guy Glenn is up to. But that's cool. Sooner or later, Good Guy Glenn's going to do something real interesting. And those of you who stuck with me through it all, you'll be like, well, that's what's up. Just like being a Raiders fan. I've been a Raiders fan all my life. And when we went to the Super Bowl, it was great. It was glorious. It's not like being a here today, gone tomorrow fan. I've stuck with them for all the bad years. There's something to be said about that loyalty. But alas, I'm rambling. I have to decide what I'm going to eat for dinner. I got work in the morning. Super stoked, feeling super blessed that I have a lot of good fortunes happening. And for all the things that I get set back on, something good always winds up happening down the road. Remember what I always tell you. Say your prayers. He's listening. Have faith. Even when it's dark, there's light. Every dusk is followed by a dawn. You just have to survive through the night. And I know you can if you just have faith. Eat a Greek yogurt and a banana every single day. Do your pre-trip. If you take care of your equipment, it'll take care of you. If you want to, you can check out my Instagram. I'm going to put the little link right there or there. I'm not sure. I can never do that right. I always point in the wrong direction. But there's the link. If you want to check it out, check it out. If you don't, you don't. It's cool. There's a lot of photos on there from OTR. There's a lot of bonus content, like when I do Reels. You could check those out. And as always, if you like this video, don't forget to smash that like button. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so when I drop another video, you get a notification. And once again, this is Good Guy Glenn. Thanks for watching.